Hello, Metagross Freak here, taking a look at Transformers, Power of the Primes, Dinobot Swoop. This is the first of the 4 deluxe class Dinobots available. Swoop turns into a robot pterodactyl, and he can form one of the 4 limbs for Volcanicus, the Dinobot combiner. So I'm looking forward to getting all 4 Dinobots, and Grimlock. I guess in that case all 5. I already have Slash, but unfortunately she does not combine. But we've got some cool artwork of Pterodactyl Slash, cool artwork of Volcanicus, and on the back we can see both modes. He transforms in 11 steps right there. And just like with the Jazz figure we looked at, he has prime armor that can be worn in either mode as armor for either mode, and it can fit a Prime Master. There's a little bio up at the top that says, "How will the fearsome Dinobot Bombardier wield the power of the Primes?" And he looks really nice. I mean, he's got this nice big crest. He has his solid red sword, and looks like it even has a little tab thing so it can not poke on, but attach to the side. We have some nice looking details on the legs. We got a little bit of metallic green on the arms, which I rather like. And we've got the really cool wings. Mine does have a little bit of an issue with balance, but I think that might just be the pose it's in. He, on my figure, has some really tight elbows, but some just kind of average ball joints in the arm. So I don't know, maybe that might be an issue. And then, of course, head is on a swivel, since we can't have it being on a ball joint with that that head that will flip up for the pterodactyl mode. He comes with, in addition to his sword, 2 other accessories. He comes with, of course, the prime armor. If you've seen my Jazz video, you'll see that they're basically the same thing. The only difference between them is that the knuckle pieces, you can see Jazz has these little jet engine pieces, while on Swoops he has these spikes. So there is a minor difference in the molding, but overall really rather nice. The other accessory he comes with is the card. For you, your card may vary, but in my variant, I have Liege Maximo on my Swoop card, and so we get Liege Maximo Swoop. Charges his way into or out of any situation. Oh, excuse me, charms his way into or out of any situation. And so that kind of goes along with the Liege Maximo characterization of him basically being the kind of the trickster, the charmer, the Loki, if you will, of the primes. And just because we have Liege Maximo, and I happen to own Liege Maximo right now, here they are together. You can clearly see he goes up to, at most, his knee, or actually a little bit, maybe a little bit higher than the knee. Pretty darn small. You, of course, can take this armor piece. The little clear bit can be held as a pistol, like I said before with Jazz, and you can attach this on to the robot. Now what's really interesting is that on the picture, on the box, it shows, there you go, it shows this armor attaching to the chest, but I don't see a way you can do that. Meanwhile, on the instructions it shows it attaching to his forearm, which, considering he has a 5mm peg right there on his forearm, makes perfect sense. You can, similar to I did with my Jazz figure, you can flip the arms around to give kind of what I would consider to be the equivalent of a robo gauntlet, a power gauntlet, like so, if you wanted him to have just a big power gauntlet. His doesn't hide the arm as well as Jazz's does, but it still works. And of course, just because I have the Liege Maximo Titan Master, you can always plug any Prime Master or Titan Master into the Prime Armor socket. So here we go. There's Liege Maximo Swoop with the power to basically charisma his way into or out of any situation, just as an example. And of course, for comparison, here he is with Deluxe Class Jazz from the same wave, and you can see they scale fairly well. If you took off Swoop's crest, they'd be about the same size. You can see their armor is held about the same way. And I'm going to take a look really quickly at the instruction booklet to see if I can find a way for this to attach to the chest. So the instruction booklets actually don't show any attachment point for the chest, which is interesting. I'm assuming there was supposed to be some kind of a clip or something. It looks like, since we know there's the little clips on the side, it looks like there was supposed to be some kind of a way for it to attach to the chest originally, but that didn't end up coming into fruition. But it would have been cool if it could have attached to the chest that way. Instead, it shows in the instruction booklet you flipping the post backwards like so to hold as a kind of oversized shield. Now the instruction booklet shows it being held like this. I don't view that to be a very good shield. I would personally prefer it be flipped up and around. Let me see. Like this. I'd personally prefer it be held like that, and the way you use the thumb spikes is up to you. But of course, it's your toy. You can use it how you'd like. And then, once again, for comparison, just because I wanted to include another Dinobot, here's Slash in her Raptor mode. Another fun note I wanted to point out is that the production images vary fairly well to the actual final product. On the final product, we see gold, kind of a gold coloration, similar to Slash on the inside of the pterodactyl head. Meanwhile, in both of these images, the pterodactyl head itself is clear. Also, you may have noticed, on here, the torso is red, meanwhile in the actual figure it's blue. So a little bit of variation there, but I actually prefer this version over this version. Also, I like having the wings tucked in. Here's Swoop in pterodactyl mode, and for the most part, he's kind of a gray brick. Definitely not super amazing in pterodactyl mode, though I do like the blue. He has little pterodactyl feet that bend back for flight, and as you saw hopefully at the very beginning there, mouth does open. Opens actually almost 90 degrees, which is pretty impressive. Mine has a loose pin though, so mine, as you can see, I can just with a single finger easily move the pterodactyl face up and down, which is a little disappointing. I wish that had been a little bit tighter, though if you aren't a fan of it, you can always just tilt it down and just have, I guess, harpy mode. You could also potentially flip the feet like that to have him sit, and bend the neck back down if you want to have him in a sitting position like that, and I actually kind of rather like that. He does have some weapon storage. You can use I think it's a 2mm pin in the gun and the sword handle right there. To tab that underneath the beak, you will need to extend it back out though, like so. Of course, having a beak just hanging off the bottom of his chin looks a little ridiculous, but I guess you could say I was going to say a swordfish, but he's not a fish, he's a pterodactyl. I'd say, unless you're a big fan of the Dino mode, you're definitely going to buy this in particular for the robot mode. I think the pterodactyl is a little disappointing out of context. If you have other Dinobots, it looks a lot better. And of course there are Titan Master / Prime Master ports, 2 on each wing, 2 back here, and then 2 in the middle right here. However, you can also attach the Prime armor. There we go, you can attach the Prime armor there, which kind of just makes him look even more like a gray and black brick. Obviously not the most exciting accessory, but I guess that is one way you can attach a Prime Master if you don't want to have one just standing on top. And there isn't really another place to put the sword. For comparison, to, there you can see Dinobot Slash once again in a Dino mode. You can see that Slash scales a lot better with Swoop, but then again, to be fair, Swoop's basically just a brick with wings and a head, at least in this mode. And then also for comparison, just like with Slash, here Swoop is with Gold Armor Grimlock from Robots in Disguise. And you can see they actually scale fairly well. So Swoop does scale well for a deluxe class, but I'd say his Dino mode isn't the most impressive. If you're planning on using him for the Combiner, I would definitely say get him. But if you're not planning on getting the Dinobot Combiner, or if you're not planning on collecting all the Dinobots, I'd say probably give him a skip. I mean, he's not a bad figure. I want to be clear on that. He is a good figure, but I definitely think he's definitely better in the set. You know, you want to have the other Dinobots. You want to have the Combine mode, because that's the context he looks better in. But as you can see, I mean, he's also a fairly easy transformation. I mean, I literally only transformed him into pterodactyl mode one time, and I'm already able to undo the transformation. I don't even have to, I'm not had to reference the instructions at all. Though you may have a little trouble getting these hands out of these slots. I kept recording because I wanted to see in real time how long that took. Yeah, there we go. That was like 40-50 seconds. That was a little ridiculous. Getting these hands out is not super easy, I will say. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, I've been Metagross Freak. And, well, keep supporting me, because that's how you're going to get more videos just like this. See you all next time.